Hey everyone, I'm Joe and today I'm going to be doing a book review of Crashing Heaven by Robertson. This was published only fairly recently in 2015 and it was published by Gollancz in this particular edition. And this is a science fiction cyberpunk novel. So first of all I will start with the setting and the plot. So the book is set in the future, or fairly semi-near future, where the earth has been devastated by pollution and war and is basically unlivable for the large part. I mean, there are a few small places where people live, but it's generally highly unpleasant and people are only really there to just try and get the remaining resources of it, because obviously that's what's caused it to be so bad, because we've just drained it so badly over resources that it's polluted and become terrible. Humanity has spread to the stars and is now living on multiple smaller colonies on various moons, space stations and the like around our solar system. The focus of the book is on a station that is in a near-Earth orbit, and obviously that is where the book takes place. Just before the book has begun, there has ended a war against sentient AIs. What the main character of the book is called Jack, who is an accountant, which sounds unusual, but he has also got Hugo Fist with him. And Hugo Fist isn't just his partner. Hugo Fist is a sentient AI that is essentially hardwired into his brain. And Hugo is designed to be a sentient AI killer himself, and is extremely good at it. So they return to station after some unknown time away, probably a year or two, going around hunting down rogue sentient AIs. And basically they are not well liked because of the way they did this and because of certain things that happened. I'm not going to give away spoilers because it's a nice little surprise. And this creates some problems when they come back, because basically Jack and therefore Hugo are treated as criminals, which is not a problem for Hugo because Hugo's extremely unusual in terms of personality, to say the least. However, two people that Jack knew from years ago, before he even knew Hugo, before Hugo was in his mind, gets mysteriously killed, and this is obviously a big issue for Jack because there were two people that he knew and they were part of his life before and indeed during being his own Hugo. So he wants to find out why they died, because the police aren't particularly bothered by it, or at least not as bothered as he would like them to be. So he starts to investigate and events start to spiral outwards in some pretty wild and really imaginative ways. And I'm not going to say too much more because of course that would be significant spoilers for the book, but the plot is really interesting and it really is fun overall. So the plot and the overall feel of the book is very fast paced and fun, albeit really dark in places, because at times you are laughing at the interactions between Jack and Hugo, and over times the book gets extremely grim and remarkably introspective in ways that you really don't expect, especially as these moments often come after the more light-hearted moments with the two main characters. So this sort of up and down between light and dark is really interesting, and frankly it's something that I loved about this book because it sort of creates a nice dynamic and it adds to the dynamic between the characters, which I'll get to in a bit. At times the book feels almost like a techno thriller a la William Gibson. It has noir elements about it, and it also has police drama type elements as well, which overall create an interesting mix and some interesting ideas which I really did like and enjoy. And also, whilst reading it, I couldn't help thinking of the film Johnny Mnemonic, which was released in the mid-90s with Keanu Reeves, which oddly enough was also based on a short story by William Gibson. So frankly, if you like William Gibson, you'll probably like this because it does have some quite distinct William Gibson vibes about it. And frankly, that personally is a good thing because William Gibson has an interesting but unique writing style, and Al Robertson is already making himself a very unique writing style as well, which I greatly appreciate. despite the world being very dark and gritty and grim a lot of the time, it also has its lighter moments, and one of the things that it's lighter due to is this virtual overlay technology that most of the people in the station have. Basically, think of a really advanced Google Glass that everybody's wearing, and the main two characters, however, don't have this ability, or at least can't use it properly. So they see the station as it is, which is quite harsh and sort of lots of harsh metal and harsh surfaces. Everybody else on there sees it as a sort of like wondrous, sort of really nicely decorated, and all nice advertisements everywhere, hoping, trying to make you buy things. And this unusual mixture between the two viewpoints of the main two characters and basically everybody else is a curious one, but one that I liked. I think really does add to the story, because they are going around puzzled as to the other people's reactions, which is really interesting to see. The relationship between the two main characters, Jack and Hugo, is, as I said, just fantastic to see. This is basically the highlight of the entire book, because Jack is an accountant, Hugo is a sentient AI designed to kill sentient AIs. So their outlook on things is drastically different. However, they both know that they are much better together than they are alone, because there's certain things Jack, especially since they've come back, there's things that he wouldn't be able to do now without Hugo, but Hugo knows that he wouldn't exist if it weren't for Jack, because he resides in his mind. So this mix and this sort of interdependency on the two is really interesting and frankly fascinating to read. Relating to this, the writing is really clean and sharp, and there's no unnecessary clutter in the book. There's no unnecessary dialogue or random info dumps that some authors do. The book is very refined and very clean cut, and indeed the interactions between the two main characters benefits from this, because they both get on really well, and their issues with each other also comes across extremely well, which frankly comes across brilliantly and is really fun. So overall, this is quite an impressive debut. It has good writing, good characters, good world building, and frankly, if Robertson can keep this up with future books, then he won't just be merely another science fiction author. He could become quite significant, I think, because this is really quite impressive. I mean, his writing, his style is very developed, and it's beyond what you'd imagine somebody's first book should be. So for that factor alone, I would highly recommend this to science fiction fans, or to anybody wanting to read a book with just a really interesting two character setup, because like I said, these two main characters are brilliant together. They really are. I haven't read a book with such a brilliant sort of duo in leading the book for years, and this basically should come highly recommended for that, if nothing else. So with that said, that's it for this review. If you've read this or would like to, then please leave a comment and we can have a conversation. All my social media links can be found in the description box below, as they always are. And that's it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you another day. Bye for now.